friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Noemie and today's video is going to be my March wrap-up. I read 9 books in March, which is pretty good because I had a pretty busy month, and I've read kind of a wide variety of books when it comes to their rating. So some of them I didn't really enjoy as much, and then some of them I really loved. So we're just gonna get right into it because I have quite a few things to say about these books. So sit back, grab a snack, a water, anything you want, and let's talk about the books that I've read in March. I actually took notes this time, which if you know me, I don't really prep for these videos. I just say like whatever's on my mind on the moment that I film. But for this time, like I was kind of like feeling like, yeah, I might need notes for this one. So we've got the notes. So the first book I read in March was actually like a book I started at the end of February but finished at the beginning of March. So that is The Man I Never Met by Elle Cook. Very quickly, this follows Hannah. She lives in London and she gets a call from an unknown number, and you know, usually she wouldn't answer it, but she was like, let's just answer it, see who it is. And turns out it's a guy that misdialed her and thought he was calling about an interview, and you know, they got to talking just a little bit. She wished him good luck and they hung up. But then she gets a text from the guy who's called Davy that he got the job and that he'll be moving to London. So, you know, that kind of sparks a little friendship. They're interested in talking to each other over text until he comes to London. So very soon their text messages turn into phone calls, and those phone calls turn into video calls, and they really start to connect and be very excited to see each other eventually when he moves to London. However, on the day that he's supposed to get to the airport, Hannah's waiting for him and he never shows up. He doesn't answer his phone either. So she's like, have I been like scammed? Was this a complete, am I making a fool of myself? So she decides to leave, kind of heartbroken. It turns out that Davy's reason why he didn't show up is a lot more deeper and intense than what Hannah was expecting, and it really changes both of their lives and how they're going to move forward from there. I thought this book was really cute and definitely took an unexpected dark turn towards the middle. I gotta say I liked the first half more than the second half, but overall it was a really enjoyable book and a very important one, but I'll get back to that. So for me, I thought the first half was cute. So Hannah and Davy just like talking over the phone, them just knowing to get each other on the internet, and I just thought it was really cute and I was getting excited for them to meet. And then the second half kind of like fell a little bit flat and a little bit underwhelming. I didn't really like Hannah's decisions in the second half, but you know, this still has a happy ending because it's a romance. I did think that like the ending was a bit rushed, but I would say like overall it's a really good book, and I'm glad I read it, and I'm excited to see what else Elle Cook comes out with. I said that this was a very important read, and that is because it definitely had me thinking like, am I enjoying my life at its fullest? And like I should be enjoying it as much as I can, because anything can happen and you don't know what tomorrow will bring. So that is that book. I gave this a 4-star. I definitely recommend it. Definitely check trigger warnings before you start this, because there are a few. I did really enjoy this. I was having fun reading it. Like I said, the second half fell a bit flat for me, but overall a really good book. The next book I read, I actually filmed a whole read with me for it, and I read the whole thing on camera. It was so fun. You can watch that video if you want. It's somewhere on my channel. But that book is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I don't have the dust jacket. I don't know where it is. But here's the the actual cover book. So Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. This was actually my 3rd or 4th reread. So, you know, it's obvious for me that I was gonna love it. So I did love it. But if you don't know what Percy Jackson and the Olympians is, let me tell you. So it starts with this kid, Percy. He's 12 years old, and he sees his life completely turn around when he finds out that he's actually a demigod, the son of one of the Greek gods. So yeah, he's having trouble in school. He has ADHD, he has dyslexia, and he thinks he's just like a troubled kid, like he's just always gonna have trouble in school. But turns out there's a reason for that, and that is because he's a Greek god's son. And that is explained, like all of the demigods do have like those issues, ADHD and dyslexia. And one day on a school outing to a museum, something happens, makes him be like, what the heck is happening? And then his life is completely shambled. He gets to go to a camp called Camp Half-Blood, and that is where all the other kids are that are also demigods, and it's such a fun book. He's quickly asked to go on a quest to retrieve Zeus's stolen lightning bolt, and he needs to go because the gods thinks that he stole it. So he needs to go retrieve it and bring it back and be like, hey, I didn't steal it, but here it is. So that's the whole book. He goes on that quest with Annabeth and Grover, and it's such a fun book. I love this book. I could not recommend it more. It's one of my favorites. Like, it's just gonna be a forever classic to me. And I'm actually rereading all of them because Ryan's coming out with another book in the Olympians series, and I'm so excited. It's, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so fun to get back with like the original cast, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. I definitely recommend this book, like, to anybody, all ages. It's a middle grade book, but it's just as enjoyable as a 24-year-old. Like, it's so good. 5 stars, no doubt. This is a 5-star read, and it's always going to be. I love it. The next book I read quickly became a new favorite, and I can't believe it took me this long to read it. That is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. Such a good book. Oh my gosh. Basically, we have our character Bree. Her mom is sadly passed away, and in an accident, and she soon discovers that there's much more to her mother's death than she thinks. When one night, well, on her first night on campus, she witnesses a magical event, and when one of the magic people tries to wipe her memory of the event, that actually fails, and instead unlocks some lost memories of her about her own magical abilities. After that, she's like convinced that her mom didn't randomly die. Something happened, and she's determined to find out. So she recruits Nick, who is a self-exiled Legendborn, so like somebody that doesn't really want anything to do with the society, and then suddenly he does want something to do with the society, so he accepts to help her and try to like get back into the magical world. So they go on a, like, not a quest, but they search and search and search for clues on what happened, what's going on in secret in their society of Legendborns. And like, that is such like a superficial summary of this, because this book has so much more, and it's just amazing. And I can't easily just summarize this in a few words because there's so much to this. It would take me 2 hours. But yeah, it's just a new amazing YA magical book. It's diverse. It's really diverse. Our main character is Black, and we have other people of color in there. And there's also a lot of LGBTQ plus characters, which is amazing to see. And it's so dang good. And I cannot wait to get the second book. I need it to come out in paperback in like ASAP, or I just need to get it in paperback because I think it's available in the UK. But I'm in Canada. This has like infinity star rating. It's a new favorite. I just want everything about it. I have a soft spot for Sel. I love him. I also love Nick. Obviously, I love our girl, Bree. This book, like, I think about it daily. Well, maybe not daily, because I have a lot of other things to think about, but like, I think about it a lot, and I love this book, and I really want to read the second book ASAP, and then I just know I'm gonna have to wait so long for the next one. And I remember Regan from Proof's Project mentioning when she finished this, that this book could become like a 10-book series, because there's so much to like talk about. There's so much to the story, and I agree. Like, this could be such a big book series, and honestly, I'm here for it. I hope that happens. So yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. Actually, like infinity stars, but on Goodreads it's a 5 out of 5 stars for the sake of reading it. Also, I'm a bit snuffly. I think allergies are flaring up. I really hope you can't hear it too much in my voice. You probably can. All right, next book I've read, Twisted Love by Anna Hewing, or Huang. I don't really know, but Twisted Love. So this is a love story between a very possessive, I can't say anything. Possessive. Anyways, you know what I mean. A very possessive male character and a very cute sunshine female character. And I think this was the first book that I've read with like that type of pairing. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. Alex, the guy, is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Ava is a free spirit trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. That's pretty much all like the back says. So obviously this is a romance book, so they do end up like being attracted to each other and there's a romance that sparks in there. But this is so much more deeper and I was not expecting that. I was almost scared. But no, so there's a lot more, like there's a lot of character depth in this. So both of them, we see both of their backstories. On Goodreads, it does says, this book contains a possessive alpha, anti-hero, explicit sexual content, and profanity. No cheating or menace, but if you're looking for a traditional, sweet, lovable hero, this is not the book for you. Recommended for 18 plus. And I agree with that, definitely. I think I really enjoyed this. Like, I think I enjoyed it. But my main issue was like how much stuff were thrown in there within just over 300 pages. You know, I feel like this should have been much more longer, but the next books in the series are much longer. So I think that just might like solve that issue. So I love how much there was. I just wish it was spaced out more and just a longer book would have done that, because this was really short for the amount of stuff that was happening. The third act was a bit ridiculous, I gotta say. I'm not gonna spoil it, but like I was like, what is happening? How did this happen? So that kind of like, I don't want to say ruined it, but definitely got the rating go very low after that. So I definitely want to see like what the next books are about, because I hear like this is like not everyone's favorite. Like a lot of people agree that this one's the worst one, and then it just gets a lot better after. So you know, I'm excited, I'm interested to see what else, like what's next. But I'm just not sure when I'm going to pick those up, because I don't have them on my shelves yet, so I don't know when I'm gonna buy them and read them. But I'm definitely not stopping at this one. I want to see what the rest are about. So I give this book a 3.5, maybe like a 3.25, like, you know, around that rating. Like I said, my main issue is just like the pacing, and just overall I'm not the biggest fan of possessive boyfriends, unless it's like extremely well written and like enjoyable for real. But I don't know, this one just not a favorite, but still good. I liked it enough for me to want to read the next ones, and I definitely recommend this if you like dark romances, and also check their trigger warnings. There's actually a few plot twists in this and I was not expecting them, so you know, just a lot of like unexpected. I'm just not sure how I feel about them yet, but it's been like almost a month. So 3.5 stars. Do with my review what you will. Definitely don't let my review like stop you. If you like the synopsis of it, give it a shot. The next book I read is Hang the Moon by Alexandria Bellefleur. Also, I'm not sure if you're supposed to say her last name in French, because it's Bellefleur, which is like French. But is it actually French? I don't know. So basically, this is between a guy who is a hopeless romantic. He loves love, and this girl who gave up on love. And basically the whole book, it's about the guy trying to show her that love is still here, like romance is still alive. And overall it was fun. It was fun, but it fell a little bit flat. Let me get to that. So Brendan, our main character, has such a big love for love that he created a dating app to help people find their true pairing. And while he hasn't found her yet, he's like determined to find her. He's like 100% sure that he's going to find her. And yeah, and then just unexpectedly his childhood crush Annie comes into town. She comes into town to visit her best friend, but her best friend's actually out of town, so she ends up spending a lot of time with Brandon. You know, I really like that like plot, just somebody trying to like show the other person that love is still there, and just them spending a lot of time together, just connecting like that, and I love that. But this book specifically kind of fell flat for me. It felt really normal and simple, and I felt a little bit underwhelmed while reading it. So I don't know about this book. To be completely honest, towards like 3/4 of it, I was just like excited for it to be done. So I just like read it, flew through it, but I wasn't really like, wow, this book's amazing. I did really want to love it because I really liked the first one, Written in the Stars, by the same author, and I was expecting so much from this one too. So yeah, the guy recreates iconic romance movies, like scenes with her, and I don't know, I just feel like Annie was a bit confusing to read about. Like one page she was like, oh, I love you, and then the next she was like, no, I don't believe in love. And that kind of like, I don't know about this one, guys. I don't know what to say. I just know that maybe it just wasn't for me this time around, but the first one I did like it, so like you should read Alexandria's books. This one felt a little bit flat. I do want to read the next one, Counting the Stars, I think. But yeah, this one was just not it. And I think I gave it like a 3-star. Alright, then I read some mangas. So first up, I finally finished Blue Flag Volume 1. I had started this in January and read like half of it, and then the other day I was like, I'm finishing it. I need to finish it. And boy, why was I waiting? This was amazing. So basically, this is about this guy. He helps this girl trying to get this guy to go on a date with her. But she's really shy and she's not really good at like interactions and stuff. So, you know, he's got his work cut out for him. But little do they know, each of them's same-sex best friends. So his best friend, and then her best friend, they're actually falling for each other. So he's falling for him and the other one's falling for her. And then these two are falling for each other. It's a whole thing. And like, this was so cute, adorable, so fun. And I really want to get the second volume. I went on chapters on Tuesday trying to get it, but it wasn't there. But I'm gonna get it soon because I want to keep reading this. I did not know this was a queer, like this had queer elements in it, because I didn't read the back when I started. But yeah, now that I know, I'm like, why did I not read this sooner? So I gave this a 5 stars. I really liked it. A cute manga. This would have definitely been a cover buy if it wasn't recommended to me. So cute. I loved it. I really recommend this one. It's really cute. Next, I read another volume in my favorite manga series right now, Spy X Family. And I read volume 3. I'm not going to tell you what Spy X Family volume 3 is about, but I'm just going to tell you what the manga is about in general. So we have our spy. What's his name again? Well, his spy name is Twilight, but what's his actual name? Lloyd. His real name is Lloyd. So he takes on a mission, quite an important mission to like involving this guy, but this guy has a son that goes to this really prestigious school. So he needs to adopt a girl, or just a kid, but it ends up being a daughter, so that she can go to that school, and then he can have more access to that kid, which will give him more access to the dad, which is the guy that the mission is about. So that's what he does. And to enroll her in the school, there need to be 2 parents. So he also hires a wife. Well, he doesn't really they both have something. They both like agree that getting married or fake married will give them something good. So like a marriage of convenience kind of thing. And what Lloyd doesn't know is that Anya, is the little girl, is actually a telepath. So she can read minds. So she knows that Lloyd is a spy. And also he doesn't know that Yuri, the wife that he married, well, they're actually married. They have the papers and everything, but anyways, so she is actually a trained assassin, and he doesn't know that, but Anya does, because she's a telepath. So Anya knows everything, but she won't say anything because she doesn't want them to know that she can read minds, because when that happened in the past, when the parent or somebody found that out, they got scared and like got rid of her. It's a hilarious book and I love it. I love it so much. It's so cute, it's so fun and unique, and Anya is the cutest thing. But yeah, like this book has me giggling all the time and it's so cute. I cannot wait to read volume 4 and just the next ones after that. So I really recommend this one. 5 stars. Amazing. So fun. I'm so glad I like started this. The 2 next books are the books that I've read during my Transwrite readathon, which I have a vlog for. You can find it on the screen right now. But the first one I've read was Pet by Akwaeke Emezi. I still don't know if I'm saying that right. But this is about Jam, and she lives in this society where monsters has been wiped. There's no more monsters. It's a safe place, and these monsters were wiped away or erased or whatever by these people called angels. Everything's fine, everything's safe, until Jam goes into her mom's art studio and accidentally puts some of her blood on her mom's painting, which makes it come to life. And something comes out of it, and it looks a lot like a monster, and Jam freaks out. But the monster says, or the thing that looks like a monster says, "I'm here to hunt a monster. There's a monster in your friend's house and I need to go hunt it." So Jam goes on the quest with him to erase that monster, like take him away, because it involves her friend. And that's pretty much all I can say. So this book has a really deep meaning that I'm not gonna spoil for you, but definitely, like, what I take away from this book is that somebody that you might not think is a bad person could actually be a bad person. And it's about just being aware that not everybody is who they say they are. And yeah, that's all I can say about this. I really liked it. I really did. It reads a lot like a middle grade book, and I think it is. Like, I think. But also, like, I think it's a YA. It does deal with, like, deep things, like emotional things, but like the print in it is really like big and looks like a middle grade book. So I don't know, I'm not sure, but like middle grade YA, maybe like early YA, but overall I really liked it and it got me emotional a bit. That's Pet. I recommend this. Check trigger warnings. There's like just a few. And lastly, the last book I read in March was Mikudari by Emery Lee, which was also a book I've read for the Trans Rights Readathon. This book follows Noah. He is a trans boy and he goes to summer camp early in Denver because his brother is going there to work at a summer camp, so he joins just to have a very fun summer. He's also the author of this online blog, Meet Cute Diary, and that blog is about trans and meet cutes and happily ever afters. So he writes stories about trans people having their meet cute and living happily ever after, kind of like Disney vibes. However, his blog is called out as being fictional, which it is, but Noah doesn't want anybody to know that because he wants trans people to know, like, hey, this can happen for you, like, you can be happy. But somebody says it's fake. So Noah needs to try and find a way to like convince people that it's real. And that's where he meets Drew, who agrees to fake date him to save the diary. So they can post like them being on dates and being all cute, and then basically making people believe like, oh, actually, yeah, it was real. The story goes from there. Stuff happens and it's really adorable, and there's actually a love triangle in this, and I did not mind it. It was cute. It was fun. First things first, Noah is kind of hard to like. So if you don't like him at first, that's normal, but don't let that stop you, because I think that was a very brave move from Emery Lee to write a character that was not really likable, because it just shows you like you're reading fiction. Not all of the characters that you're gonna meet are gonna be perfect. And like, I read a lot of books where the main character has flaws and like little issues here and there, but this one was straight up like not likable. And I think that's really cool because with the whole book we were able to see him grow as a person and just realize like, hey, the world doesn't revolve around me, and that's okay. So overall, I really thought the book was really cute, and like, I'm really glad I read it. I want to read Emery's other book, Cafe con Leche, which is coming out in paperback I think this month, so I'm gonna go get it and I'm excited. So that book, I gave it 4 stars. Oh, by the way, Pet, I gave it 4.5, and this one I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. It was really cute, and I read this in like a day, in an afternoon. It really reads fast. And I did learn about some new pronouns that people can use, so that was really interesting. I didn't read any book club books this month, and that makes me so sad. Like, I love book clubs. I have my own book club. Like, it's such a fun thing, and I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't read any. I didn't even read my own book club book. I apologize for that. I started it, but I just didn't have time to like actually finish it. But yeah, I'm gonna finish it in April, though. We're reading this book, so that's fun. Alrighty guys, that is it for today's video. I read 9 books in March, and they were all good. So, well, some of them were okay, but most of them are really good. I want to know what book you've read in March, or your favorite, or how many books you've read. If you've read 1, 10, 50. If you didn't read 50, tell me how you do it. If you made it to the end of the video, comment down this emoji, and that way I'll know who made it to the end. And I love knowing, because it's like, oh my gosh, you've seen the whole thing. You've put up with me for like 20 minutes. I have a bunch of links down below if you want to check them out. So like Instagram, Etsy, TikTok, just a bunch of things you might think are interesting to look at. If you want to see my face again, make sure you subscribe. I try to post 3 times a week. So that's a lot of content for you guys. And also like the video if you liked it. That really helps me stay positive, stay motivated to make a lot of videos, and just like helps my analytics. So as a very small booktuber, that's really good for me. I think that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!